Payoff.
Hello and welcome to the Sports Payoff. I'm Kasper, he's Whit. We're going to start off today with stats and streaks. Tony Gonzalez might be retiring. He might be hanging up the cleats. Whit, he's got 1,000+ receptions for his career. He's got 12,400+ receiving yards. He's got 88 touchdowns, and he holds 7 NFL records for tight ends. Obviously one of the all-time greats, or what do you think?
I would say Hall of Fame for this guy. Year in, year out, he has been a partial reason as to why the Falcons have done so well, especially recently with Matt Ryan in the fold as well. I like this guy. I love the Falcons. You know that. Yeah, Tony Gonzalez, definitely one of
Yeah, he's had a lot of good seasons with a few teams. It's kind of it'll be sad to see you go.
All right, next topic.
Prior to last week's game, there has only been one quarterback in NFL history, Whit, to throw for 2 touchdowns and rush for 2 touchdowns in the same game, and that was Otto Graham. Last week, who did it and got their names in the record book?
Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler?
I think it was Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler.
It's pretty shocking. I don't know. Is this kind of a sign of things to come? Do you see him doing well now?
No, you know what? I've never been a Cutler fan myself. I think it's a fluke game. Every quarterback has them once in a while.
Well, and we can't forget who he was playing.
Exactly. Jay Cutler has absolutely no personality. Yeah, I don't like the guy. He's not a. I mean, he's had worse years with other teams. So, fluke game, I think. And you'll get to my predictions later. I don't think he goes on to the Super Bowl.
It was a good game, but yeah, I'm not ready to throw him in the mix.
We're talking the Seahawks here.
Yeah, I'm not ready to throw him in there yet.
For sure.
Going into Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers, 86% completion, 366 yards. Statistically, this is the best game a Green Bay quarterback has had in the 90-year history of the NFL. Better games than Bart Starr, better games than Brett Favre.
Yeah.
This was the best. Now, are you ready to say that he is maybe one of the best, if not the best quarterbacks in the NFL? Is he up there with Peyton and Manning in your opinion? Because in mine he is.
Well, you know what? If you're talking about the Peyton Manning and the Tom Brady's and the Ben Roethlisbergers, there's only 2 guys left, him and Ben. So I would say this year, yeah, he's number 1. All right, next topic. Flyers, Philadelphia Flyers, talking hockey here. 16 road wins this season. They are actually currently tied with Vancouver and actually have virtue of first place by total wins. What do you think about that?
You know, I was really surprised. I think a lot of people were surprised with how well they did last year. They said they didn't really have the goaltending. Goaltending hasn't really changed. They've got Sergei Bobrovsky, but Brian Boucher is actually in the top 3 in goals against average and save percentage. He doesn't have a lot of games played because Bobrovsky has been getting a lot of starts. But their goaltending's holding up, and they are the league leaders in scoring. How's that for a tongue twister? The
Exactly.
league leaders.
Differential by 3.
Do they?
Yeah.
Sticking with hockey, Chris Osgood has 401 wins. He's 10th all-time, Whit. He is just a few back of greats like Grant Fuhr. But his goals against average actually is better than Patrick Waugh and Rogie Vachon, for example, 2 of the all-time greats. Do you see him as a Hall of Famer? Where do you see his career?
Similar to Tony Gonzalez, I think this guy is a definite Hall of Famer. He's got several Stanley Cup rings. He's kind of been put into kind of a backup mode this year because of Jimmy Howard. But, I mean, if Detroit keeps playing the way they are, they will more than likely be the team that I think will take out Vancouver if a team does.
But it won't be because of Osgood, though. See, I don't understand.
He has leadership, though. He has leadership to a team. That's huge. You know?
Leadership, big deal. He's one of those guys that amasses the stats, but he doesn't stand out. He doesn't win games for a team. Mm-hmm. He just wins games.
Well, I'm going to keep in mind, a bulk of his stats, probably 75% of his stats that he has created over the years, happened in those glory years between 90 and 2000.
He had a few good years as a starter, but he's been backing up Jimmy Howard. He's backed up Mike Vernon. He's backed up Dominic Hasek. He's been a long-time backup. He's getting,
a career backup with 400+ wins and better stats than the greats.
It is impressive. But I have over to the hot topics now. We're going to start off with the big news out of St. Louis in baseball. Albert Pujols, negotiations hitting a little bit of snag. Yes, I said Pujols. Hitting a little bit of a snag. He wants A-Rod money, maybe even more than A-Rod money. Point is, he wants a lot of years, he wants a lot of dollars. St. Louis is saying they don't know if they can pony up. What do you think?
Well, you know what? He wants A-Rod dollars, and A-Rod doesn't even earn A-Rod money. So, you know what?
Nobody earns A-Rod money.
No, nobody owns that kind of money.
But
Albert Pujols, year after year, knocks them out of the park. He's in the top 5 for home runs every year. Every year since I started following baseball, this guy's been number 1. I believe he was second or third in MVP voting this year. There's no salary cap in baseball. Owners, pony up. Give this guy the money.
it's not even just about the home runs. This guy is a multiple time
Defensively,
MVP.
he's ridiculous.
He's defensively good. Ribbies, runs. He's
a leader.
He's a great player. He's a good character guy.
Yeah.
You know, you don't see his name in the papers for doing dumb stuff. You know, he's active in the community.
Knock on
Pony
wood.
up, St. Louis. You never know with major league athletes, but you got to
Yeah.
pony up, St. Louis. Pony up.
For sure, for sure.
What's next on the docket?
You tell me, buddy.
Well, let's go to the NBA now.
Yeah.
Andre Iguodala might be losing his spot in the roster in Philly because he might be gaining a roster somewhere else via trade. I see him going to the Dallas Mavericks. They lost Caron Butler for the season. They're a strong team.
Dirk's hurt.
Well, Dirk's back now. He's played 2 games.
All right.
He played limited minutes in his first game.
So he still might
back.
be injured a bit.
Well, the point is they need a little bit of help. I mean, Caron Butler is a solid guy. I mean, he's not an all-star really, but he's capable of putting the biscuit in the basket a lot of times. And you know, Andre Iguodala would give them a great perimeter defender and that great wing cutter that they'll need.
What if Dallas doesn't pick him up, though? Does he go maybe play in Turkey with Iverson?
No. There's going to be a market for him. He's not fitting into the roster. He's not fitting into Philly's long-term plans. He's got a big contract, so they've got to ship him out.
Yeah.
He's going to get traded. I'd like to see Dallas pick him up because I really think that could boost them up into the top tier. You know, challenge for the title with LA, Boston.
With the Raptors?
Yeah, no.
No? Okay. All right.
Sorry, Toronto fans. There's no hope for you and the Raptors.
There's no hope for any of your teams, actually.
Good point.
All right, next topic. Blue Jays and Eric Chavez, or however you pronounce it. I know from just listening to the news the last couple of days that they're looking for. They're kind of waiting to see how the arbitration hearing with
Batista
goes, because he can play third base. But Chavez has had injury problems in the last couple of years. It's a bit of a gamble. They like to gamble on their third baseman, so I don't know. I see it maybe happening, maybe a really low-level type contract. If he does well, maybe they pony up the next year. But Eric Chavez, we'll see how it goes. I don't know. What do you think?
It's as long as they have injury clauses in there, they can get the money back, or they can put them on some sort of clause
incentive-based contract.
Yeah, exactly, or just something where they can put them on the injured reserve list and not be forced to eat that cap. Then that'll be fine. It's low risk, high reward possibilities.
Yeah,
when he was healthy,
Batista was a low risk, high reward, and it ended up working out for it. But now this guy wants $10 million, so there's what happens. Right?
Unfortunately, for the bottom line, we'll go back to the Toronto fans. Unfortunately, the Blue Jays aren't going to be competing this year or the next or anytime soon with Boston and the Yankees. I mean, we're hoping for third place at best.
Yeah, Toronto's not going to compete. Not going to be able to compete until there's a salary cap.
Unless there's a major dramatic fall from grace for Boston, New York, or even Tampa. The best the Jays can hope for is a wild card spot, and that's lucky.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter, but I say the Jays should try and get him anyway. You never know.
All right, next topic. Chicago Sun-Times, possible bad reporting.
Possible.
They were making comments about how awkward Jay Cutler is in public forums and how many awkward quarterbacks have won the Super Bowl.
That's just stupid. I don't know who's writing these articles at the Sun-Times, but you guys suck. Okay? How many
Don't sue.
No, you suck. Sue. How many awkward quarterbacks have won the Super Bowl? How many inept stars have won? Who gives a rat's ass how he conducts?
It's the world of Facebook, YouTube. Everyone.
It doesn't matter. If you go out and you win, you win. It doesn't matter if you can be a drooling retard. If you win,
you gotta be able to
you
do
win.
an interview after the game. What is he? He's gonna stare like this after the game? Yeah.
Personally, that doesn't mean he can't win. He's Otto Graham-like with his 2 touchdowns rushing, 2 receiving. I mean, who cares if he is a crap?
Bosch and Asic.
We missed the other NBA thing. I don't know if you guys saw this play here, but Bosch, for the Miami Heat, was going for a loose ball, okay? He stopped, bent down at the waist to pick up this loose ball. His legs are stiff. Little-known player from the other team, Asic, comes rushing in, dives for the ball, hustle play, takes out Bosch's knees. Bosch is now riding the pine with an injury. After the game, Bosch is crying, said there's no need for that, yada, yada. You're going to hurt a guy. Dude, you're getting paid millions. Dive. If I was a coach, I want to see him dive for that ball.
Yeah.
Do you think the guy has a valid complaint that it's a dirty play or unnecessary, or do you think you should be hustling?
Yeah, it's basketball. I mean, there's a hustle, but I mean, there's other ways to get the ball. You have to slide.
What,
and take
stop
his
and
knee
bend
down.
No. I'll tell you what. I'm not even kidding you. When I was 13 years old, I had a Larry Bird poster on my wall. Larry outstretched, full, like right out, diving midair, going for a loose ball, and it said something like "Never give up" or something on it. It was awesome. Never give up.
There's not guys like Larry Bird playing anymore. All they care about is money.
Maybe Asic's the next.
Well, maybe he's the next Larry Bird. You never know. All right, let's move forward to our NFL picks.
Our NFL picks. How'd you do last week, Whit?
I was 0 for 4.
I'm
1-7 for the last 2 weeks.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a shame. I believe I was 3-1.
So what's that put you at?
Oh, 6-2.
Oh, you are killing me. I can't even come back now. I can't even tie you.
Well, we got a long year ahead of us.
Yeah,
Maybe you'll do lucky when we start picking some more baseball, hockey. Yeah. Next week we'll do a pick 6 and we'll look at some hockey and basketball games here and try and get your record up.
Take my record up. Like this. Like
the one game I got wrong. I can't believe those Pats.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I backed the Jets, so to the Jets, you win, you're right, although I don't like showboating at the end of the game. You don't have to prance around like a bunch of douchebags.
Yeah.
You won. Walk off the field like winners and champions. Don't walk off like a bunch of tools, basically.
Yeah, true enough. But they got showed up at home against...
Yeah, the Pats ran up the scores, but I don't know.
Whatever, other than that, I mean, Chicago...
Let's look at next week's game.
This week we're going to go with Pittsburgh versus the Jets.
Pittsburgh versus the Jets.
You got Sanchez versus Roethlisberger.
I really hate to do it. I really do, but I'm going to pick the Jets. I'm going to pick the Jets in a tight game. I mean, look at what they've done so far. They've beat Brady Manning in back-to-back games.
Yep.
Okay? Name the best quarterbacks in the league. Manning, Brady.
Sanchez.
No. Roethlisberger and Rodgers. So if they can get Roethlisberger, they've got possibly 3 of the best quarterbacks beaten now in a row. I mean, I'm just going to go for it.
All right, well, you're going to go to a limb. I'm not. I'm a Steelers homer. You know that. I'm going to say Steelers. It's not going to be a wrong. It's going to be a close game. You got 2 really good defenses. You got the Jets have one of the better defenses in the league. The Steelers, they've always been good defensively, but this year we kind of tailed off a bit. I like the Steelers. I'm going to say it's a close game. But I got to go with Big Ben on here. I think it's going to be a championship for the Steelers this year.
Next game, Chicago. Who's going to win that one?
Chicago, Green Bay. Well, we were talking about Rodgers. He is doing quite well. He doesn't have fluke games. Rodgers has been playing like this for the last couple of years, ever since Favre left Green Bay. I like Aaron Rodgers. I don't think he'll have a game like that.
Not against that defense.
But you never know. Like I said, that was kind of a fluky game for Chicago. So maybe Green Bay comes out and absolutely killed Chicago. They beat an Atlanta team that was favored to go all the way to the Super Bowl, and they absolutely did destroy them. I'll put like 20 points or so. So I'd say Green Bay in this one. I'd say Green Bay, Pittsburgh in the Super Bowl.
I was going to say Green Bay myself. I was this close. I looked up all my reasons why. I had stats and this and that going against Chicago, and I changed my mind at the last second, and I have one reason why. The turf. Urlacher and the Bears have been complaining all year long that they've got the worst field in all of the NFL.
It's true.
But it may be true. They're used to that crappy field. Rodgers in Green Bay isn't.
Well, yeah, but they play Lambeau, though. Lambeau's pretty brutal, too. It can be a bad field.
There's a difference between playing on a good field in bad conditions and playing on a bad field in bad conditions.
True enough.
If the field sucks and the weather sucks, the whole game sucks. Chicago's used to that, so
did you catch the forecast for Sunday or no?
No, I haven't. Not yet.
Neither do I. Okay, I was probably snowy though. No, in Chicago.
In Chicago, it's February, or late January. So, but for that reason alone, I'm going to actually go against my better judgment there, and I'm actually going to go with Chicago.
All right, so we're absolutely opposites again.
We are.
All right, well, that does it for the show.